Projects. We got another project. Kids' bikes. They don't seem to fit really good anywhere. Right now, we've got them kind of sitting over by this door, but it gets in the way of my workbench. And I'm kind of tired of having them in the garage, but I don't want them to sit outside. I want my bike's over there. My wife's bike is over there. And the big bikes are just too big to be hanging from the ceiling because they seem to, we had them up here. You can see the hooks, but you couldn't really use the basement steps from the garage because the bikes were in the way. And it's kind of annoying taking them down. I have a couple bikes up there that I don't ride a lot, so those are fine, and they don't stick down from the ceiling as much. But we can't hang the kids' bikes every day because they use them all the time. So we have this back door, and we had this lovely concrete poured last year. Let's see if I can get out a little bit. I was thinking, like, that'd be great to have like a shed right here, like just a little bike shed, something for the kids to put their bikes away and keep them out of the garage. But that's a bedroom window, and this is the window to our office. I don't want it on the new concrete. We also put our garbage cans right here, but this gravel with the weeds growing through it right now, I gotta kill those. This gravel patch would definitely be a big enough area to have a shed sitting here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build something that sits up against the edge of the concrete over here and comes up to the edge of this window. We don't ever really look out that window, so if it blocks the view a little that way, it's not that big of a deal. And we have to have our concrete edging done. I just have some temporary blocks in there until the concrete edging company comes. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna frame up a tiny bike shed. I'm thinking like a 7x7 will fit roughly, and then the kids can come get their bikes anytime and not worry about them being in the garage. I think everyone knows what COVID has done to lumber prices. In 2021, lumber prices have gone through the roof. So I priced out getting all new material for roughly like a 7x7 shed, and it was almost $1,000. I'm thinking, why would I spend $1,000 to save the kids' bikes from getting rusty, or our bikes from getting rusty? It just doesn't make sense. So what I did was managed to talk to a few people I know. Someone was building a house. I've got scrap pieces of plywood. There were a couple pieces of plywood laying around from other people that I know. I had a couple pieces of cedar tone treated from when I built the gazebo. There's a couple more 2x4 treated in there, and some other boards that were off of pallets. So this will be pretty interesting to see what we can come up with. I don't want it to look like crap. Our other shed is very nice and it matches the house. So I'm probably still gonna have to buy the same siding plywood material that's on our other shed so it matches. And we'll see what we need once we get that far. Base of the shed is done. The only reason I put those blocks in the middle is because the plywood scraps I have are kind of small, so I'll probably have to split. I'll have to use 4 pieces to fill in the floor, but I'd rather use the small stuff for that anyway, so I can use my whole sheets of plywood for the roof and anything else I need. So I'm not sure if I'll get this over here, get it leveled, and then start building on top of it. I just don't know how heavy it's all going to be. Maybe I'll get the plywood on first, and then I'll I'll square it up, get the plywood on, then move it. That way it'll stay square. But it's coming along. Time for an update. I got the framing done for the base and got that decked. It's square and all one piece now. I'm gonna see if we can get this, we can pull this over into the gravel spot. Then I can start leveling it. That's pretty much gonna be the footprint. And the final outside dimensions are gonna be 6.5 feet by 7 feet. So 6.5 feet just gets us to the edge of that window, and 7 feet gets us out to within an inch or two of those blocks I have. So we'll get it moved and leveled and keep working. Does that look weird? Maybe a little right now?
Yeah. It doesn't look like what you're building so far.
So I was thinking I could move this platform over and level it on the gravel once I got the platform done. But then there would be no way to properly nail the plywood on that side of the house, or side of the shed that meets the house. So I built one wall, got it sheeted. Now I'm going to slide it over onto the gravel and then level the platform.
How is that going to work though? Because there's a big thing right here, and I'll be lifting it up.
Yeah, I hope it fits behind there. Oh boy, here comes the screaming kids. That's just about in its final resting place. You can see we're just clear of that window here. We still need a 1/2 inch T111 siding on there. So we won't really be covering up the window, which is nice. It's just about level. The concrete is sloped away from the house like it should be. So this will look like it's always a little high on this side when in fact the shed's level and the concrete is pitched properly. This was not fun to move by myself. I screwed this board on to use like a handle so I could lift up on this. And I realized I needed to get another treated block of wood down in there, so I made up a little lever system. I didn't account for the thickness of the electrical box sticking out from the house. So where I thought I was going to be a couple inches away from these blocks, it looks like I am wedged tight against them. So we'll see what the concrete edging guys say when they come here and see this. I'll probably have to pull those blocks out because I still need a 1/2 inch of material along that edge as well. I'm not too worried about it. So it's really hot out today and I'm thirsty. So I might take a break here for a little bit and get back to it. It's getting windy out. I think we're gonna get some rain today. Finally some clouds though. I've been burning up back here. Probably dirty and hot and sweaty. It's going okay. A little bit slow, but it's turning out. Back wall with the top plate at the right angle. We're doing basically 6 foot in the back, 7 foot in the front. So I just don't want it massive. It's just for bikes. I don't need it really tall. But so the back wall's on. I'll get the other side wall. I don't have the siding here, but I am hoping to at least get like the rafters on so I can put plywood on those. But we'll see. If I get rained out, no big deal. And we'll just have to pick it up another day. Well, the hopes in building this wood shed out of scraps for free. I knew I was gonna buy the siding, but it looks like we are short on anything we want for the front framing and for the front door, the door framing. So right now we're just gonna put the roof rafters on 2 foot on center, and we can sheet that. I don't have any tar paper, but that'll at least keep some of the rain out of the shed. Max is over here making projects. What are you making?
I don't know.
You don't know yet? Something out of wood?
Mhm.
It's looking pretty good. It's kind of exactly how I was hoping it would look. Not too crazy. Back at it today on the shed. It's been a couple weeks since I got a chance to work on it. We were gone last week and it was raining before that. So now I have the rafters on, and first up is going to be starting with the siding. So we can get the siding on. We need to run the siding up to the top of that last rafter as well, and some of the cutoffs of the siding we're going to use to cover up the soffit. So I have enough of a cutoff to cover that end and this end here underneath. And I don't know if the 1x4s I bought will work for the end of those rafters to trim that off. But we'll see once we get to that point. Hot out here again today, but we should get it mostly closed up. I still don't have enough wood for the door yet either, so it's slow but steady. I've been working on this for a few hours today while everybody else gets to play. I've got all the siding on, the soffit in, the fascia, the roof, 1/2 inch OSB. It was a little out of square, so I put a eye bolt in this corner and then an eye bolt in the opposite corner and put a ratchet strap in there, and I was able to pull the top nice and square. I was gonna keep going and do the corners and get that trim on, but we're starting to wind down for the day, and my wife picked up the D-edge and the tar paper. So I'm gonna get that D-edge down and get the tar paper on, so this thing is basically weather tight. And that should be good enough for today. And then a little bit of the trim work and paint, and I gotta build the door. But it's going good. You'll never guess what we're working on today. The shed. So it's roof time. So I have these metal panels from when we did the gazebo. When we did the gazebo back there. And for some reason they almost gave me like double what I ordered, and also some random lengths. Like 1 to 3 inches shorter than what I actually ordered for over there. So we kept it, and I'll have a chance to use them on this shed roof. I have the tar paper on. It's getting a little curly from sitting out. But these aren't long enough to cover front to back on the shed. So I'm gonna put a smaller piece down here and then overlap with the piece that goes up more forward of that. It'll be good enough for this, and we can finally use up this material before I wreck it trying to move it around all the time. So I'm just kind of getting it laid out on the ground so I have an idea of where I need to make my cuts. Roof is all done. Time for trim. That is it. All that just to put some bikes in. I might add some more trim pieces to the door. I know I have a couple. I've got some crooked 1x4s there. I wonder if this would look nice with a piece right across the middle to break that up a little bit. I'm happy with that. Get some paint on it. The door is a little sprung on its hinges. I hope the door's just twisted a little bit, but this is latching really hard right here. So, I don't know, maybe I'll work on that some other time. Bikes are in there. It's watertight. I do have to figure out a shelf or something in here. These baskets just aren't working with the height of the kids. They can't get their arm down inside the basket, so we'll just put a shelf up. And the pitch of the concrete here, I can get the door just about perpendicular with the shed during the summer. I don't know if this concrete will heave during winter, if we'll have some problems with the door rubbing. I can always modify the door, so I'm not really that worried about it. You can see this latch just doesn't want to. I think I crushed these screws in too far to this board, and it pulled that whole latch in too far. But it does latch. I just mounted the handle, and that's that. So thanks for watching, and see you on the next project.